Now I call upon Gayathri Pillai.
Imagine that right now, at this very moment, the fire alarm starts to ring. Smoke fills the entire room. What would you do? You'd say that you'd run, scream, ask an adult for help. But that's what you think you'd do. Unfortunately for us, science tells us that's probably not what's really going to happen. Let me explain. We've all heard the stories of people who become saviors in times of need. And we all like to think that in a crisis, we'd be a little bit like them. We'd unlock some sort of hidden courage within us. But the cold, hard truth is that the psychology of the human brain makes that very difficult to achieve. In disasters, we almost completely let go of who we are. It's like a brand new personality. A disaster personality, one could say. In her book, The Unthinkable, researcher and journalist Amanda Ripley critically examined disasters, interviewed survivors, and shared her interesting findings with us. She discovered that human beings don't just panic and run. Instead, our brains follow a strict, predictable, three-stage survival arc: denial, deliberation, and the decisive moment. If you understand these three steps, you can survive almost anything. Let's dig deeper. The first phase is denial, and it's a pretty huge drawback in a crisis. Your brain hates surprises. When something terrifying happens, it doesn't want to panic. So it tells itself, we're fine. Everything is fine. It's all A-okay. Psychologists call this normalcy bias. And firefighters see this all the time. They walk into a room where smoke is literally pouring from the ceiling and the alarms are blaring. And yet, what are the customers doing? They're still sitting at their tables, eating their food, waiting for the check. They aren't panicking or running. Their brains haven't even processed the situation yet. On 9/11, analysts found that people took an average of 6 minutes, 6 critical minutes, before they even began walking to the stairs. Their brains pretended like everything was okay. They stayed behind to save their files, shut down their computers, and even chat around. Denial steals the most valuable thing you have: time. Once your brain processes and realizes that it's an actual emergency, you hit step 2, deliberation. This is where humans truly show that we are indeed incredibly social animals. Think about it. You're sitting in a quiet room, and all of a sudden you hear a strange, loud thud outside. What's the first thing you do? You don't jump up. You look around. You see what everyone else is doing. If they're smiling or ignoring it, you ignore it too. I mean, you don't want to look awkward. This peculiar behavior translates exactly in crisis as well. In the 2025 Goa nightclub disaster, when the ceiling erupted in flames, people looked around, confused. Some believed it might have been special effects. And so naturally, everyone agreed, and they continued doing what they were doing before, completely forgetting their worry. During disasters, we gather, we talk, we discuss with each other. Hey, did you hear that loud bang? Yeah, what do you think it was? It was probably just the speaker blowing out. Look, else is reacting, researchers call this behavior milling. Another interesting thing is that human beings actually get hyper-polite during disasters. On 9/11, people in the upper floors actively stepped aside to let the people below them go first. It's beautiful, but it's incredibly slow. And in a crisis, a delayed decision is a fatal decision. Finally, we reach the decisive moment. This is the exact second where you choose your course of action. Most people tend to completely shut down. Their vision tunnels, their heart rate skyrockets, and they freeze. Scientists call this negative panic, and it's when the body releases too many stress hormones. You turn into a statue. In 1977, during the deadliest plane crash in history, the Tenerife air crash, investigators found something chilling. Many passengers had open exit doors right next to them. They had a clear path to safety. And yet, most of them passed away in their seats. They froze in panic, their brains completely short-circuited. But one man walked off that plane alive. Why? Because even before the plane took off, he did something that took 5 seconds. He looked around. He located the closest exits, and he literally counted the number of rows between his seat and that chair. When the crash happened and the cabin filled with black smoke, he didn't waste time in denial. He didn't look around for permission. He had a map in his head. He didn't waste time, stood up, and walked out of the wreckage alive. What separated the man who walked away from the passengers that froze in their seats? It wasn't physical strength. It wasn't bravery. It was a map. You don't need intense survival training to beat this system shock. You just need a 5-second habit. The next time you walk into a movie theater, a restaurant, or an airplane, don't just blindly sit down. Look around. Find 2 exits. Think about what could go wrong and what you could do. Ask yourself one question. If the lights go out right now, which way am I turning? By doing this, you are giving your disaster personality a plan. You are breaking the spell before the chaos even starts. Disaster is defined by the things we mostly can't control. But your survival is defined by the one thing you can control. Your readiness to move. When disaster hits, you don't rise to the occasion. You sink to your training. And so, I ask you to reflect. When the unthinkable happens, who will you become during a crisis? Thank you.